Hey, Broncos, coming to you, man. Topsail Beach, North Carolina. I hope you brought enough beer. About a 12-hour soak. High and dry.
It's not always a fun day out on the water, kind of like we'll be seeing in some of the things we're going to see in this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. Our first story to make the boating news this week is going to take us across the pond over to the country of Estonia, where this past week, one of their ferries, the Tool, was leaving Virtsu on its way to Kiavasta. When on approach to the dock, the crew realized they'd lost the ability to steer and control the speed of the vessel, causing the accident you're about to see here. One of the really interesting parts of this incident, though, is the actual president of Estonia was on board this vessel at the time of the incident. It is reported from his office that he actually spent a good amount of time on the bridge during the crossing, but during the actual collision, the president and the captain of the vessel had left the bridge and walked down to the car deck, which does kind of leave the question whether this was actual mechanical failure as reported or human error. The head of shipping and safety for Estonia has actually opened an investigation on this incident, but at the time of reporting on this, he actually did not want to comment to any media whether he believed this was mechanical failure or possible human error was involved in the accident. Our next incident to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Italy, where these images were captured of the 32-meter yacht Clermont entering the port of Anico. The Clermont, which is used primarily as a charter yacht, appears to have a few issues as it attempts to dock at the Marina Molo Vecchio. At first glance, everything appears to be fine as the yacht approaches the docks from the stern. The problem is they're actually approaching the tender dock. And as seen here, the yacht winds up crashing into two tenders that are tied up on the dock at the time, and then all of a sudden lurches forward out of nowhere, going at a high rate of speed all the way across the harbor toward the piers and barges that are docked on the other side. At this time, the cause of the incident is unknown. An investigation is being launched, and of course they are expecting that the result of this will probably be mechanical failure. Fortunately, there were no injuries reported during this event, and the city's already begun to assess the damage to start to begin to do the work to repair the marina. Our next incident to make the boating news is going to bring us back to the US, where more than a dozen people had to be rescued off of a sinking vessel last week near Pompano Beach in Hillsborough Inlet. The incident happened about 3 miles offshore when a witness said the boat appeared to have run over its own anchor line, causing the vessel to start to capsize. The vessel in distress, the Safari Diver, was a commercial dive boat that was just finishing its dive at the time of the incident. And as can be seen in these images, once the vessel began to capsize, people began to abandon ship. Fortunately for this vessel, there were several charter fishing vessels in the area who were all able to jump in as Good Samaritans lend a hand and offer life vests to people who are in the water. The Safari Diver wound up sinking in about 100 foot of water, and the owners of the vessel are currently putting together a salvage plan to try and pull the vessel up. Our next incident to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Wildwood, New Jersey, where beachgoers got a little more than they bargained for when a 27-foot vessel ran aground at a high rate of speed in a heavily trafficked beach area. The vessel approached the beach and actually came up at such a high rate of speed it wound up running into where beachgoers were actually sitting. Fortunately for the beachgoers, once they realized this vessel was not deterring from its course, they were able to quickly get out of the way and no injuries were reported, and actually no damage was reported to the vessel as well, and they were able to get it towed back off the beach. Currently, local authorities are saying the main contributing factors to the incident are inexperience and mechanical failure. Our next incident to make the boating news this week is going to take us up to Cape May, New Jersey, where tense moments were caught on camera as the Coast Guard rescued 7 people from a sport fishing boat off the coast of Cape May. The boat was almost 70 miles southeast of Cape May at the time of the incident. The 40-foot boat encountered high wind and waves, reaching close to 10 foot. The crew on board the vessel activated their emergency rescue beacon, leading Coast Guard crews directly to them. All 7 people on board the vessel were hoisted by helicopter and taken to awaiting EMTs back on shore. The Coast Guard said it was fortunate that the boaters had life jackets, radio, and the emergency radio beacon on hand. Currently at this time, there's not a whole lot of additional information available about this incident, which means we really don't know why the EPIRB was set off to begin with. The emergency locator beacon usually is set off when you're in a distress situation and your vessel's sinking, which leads me to wonder if there isn't some kind of mechanical failure with the vessel if the vessel wasn't taking on water. Whatever the situation was though, it was bad enough that all 7 people on board this boat decided they'd rather get on a Coast Guard helicopter than stay on that vessel. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Also, we're looking at starting a new series on this channel. If you or anybody you know has a cool, unique, homemade boat hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, or hit me an email at broncosguru1@gmail.com and let me know, because I'd like to get some video images and possibly talk to you about that vessel. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.